Ah, Michael Jackson. Very few people experience such a wide gamut of public opinion as
I think he's, a gift to people who love music.
all the way to
I do hate MJ, and that's because he's a child molester.
he was the king throughout the 80s, but the clown prince by the late 90s.
Michael Jackson was a talented guy. There's no doubt about that. He inspired so many pop artists and continues to this day.
But still, at the time of his death, he was nothing less than a jerk butt. An endless barrage of child molestation, plastic surgery, and black to white jokes.
Look me in the face and tell me if you think I'm black or white.
A pretty far cry from the glory of his early career, a career that, in addition to his extremely popular music, spawned a movie that in turn spawned 3 video games?
They actually are 3 separate games, though 2 of them were released by Sega.
You know, that other entity that was once massively popular but is now just a haven of memes and weird sexual overtones.
Match made in heaven.
I figured it would be fitting to watch the movie Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. The poster says, "From the imagination of Michael Jackson comes a movie like no other." I don't know what you're trying to insinuate there, but I do not like it.
Seriously, why would you give a movie that slogan unless you were warning people, yeah, this shit is fucking weird? Is it weird? Yeah. Is it good? Is it... That works.
It's not really a film at all, as much as it is a collection of short films.
Now, automatically that ostracizes people. No one goes out to watch a short film, let alone a bunch of them.
There's the really weird Speed Demon segment, which uses fucking horrifying claymation. Why? And by the way, how can you not appreciate when celebrities depict their fans as drooling fucking morons? The film is very indicative of when Michael Jackson started transitioning into wacko jacko in the eyes of the public, evidenced by the Leave Me Alone music video that addresses all the rumors springing up about him, and of course his affinity for children that crops up here.
I'm not even going to talk about it. Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I mean, the bad music video reenacted by kids for some reason, and of course the main characters of the smooth criminal segment that the movie is centered around.
Nothing wrong with that. Mm-mm. Shh. Shh.
The smooth criminal segment is the most film-like this film gets, and it's easily the most watchable too. Michael and some kids get caught witnessing some drug-dealing gang, and now they're out to fucking ruin him. Jesus, do you think you got him? What do you think he's gonna do? Oh, turn into a car, naturally.
Well, I guess if they knew he could do that, then that much force was warranted, but clearly they didn't because they couldn't fucking stop him!
Also, if you're getting rid of him because you're afraid he'll rat you out, giant shootout in the middle of the street isn't exactly keeping it on the down low. So he gets cornered once and turns into a car to escape. Then he and the kids get caught again and he becomes a robot to kill them all? No joke, this is actually happening. Michael Jackson is not just invincible, he's fucking magical.
You're a wizard.
Michael.
To tell you the truth, it honestly feels like that sort of short story that little kids write when they're tormented and bullied, so they create this little fantasy world where they're perfect and can always win and no one can bully me anymore.
It's broken up by a dance number halfway through that also serves as the smooth criminal music video. It is the best part of the segment and probably the whole movie. And I hate musicals, so when you hear me say it's a good thing when the plot screeches to a halt and everyone starts singing and dancing, that's fucked up. Then he turns into a spaceship and, did I say this segment was the most watchable? Yeah, that is still true, but it says a hell of a lot more about the rest of the film than it does about this. This is also the only part that Michael Jackson is actually credited with writing, so I don't know how directly responsible he is for the rest of it.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if this was actually his idea for a movie, but because it wasn't long enough, they had to pad it out with all these extra bits.
He doesn't really have time in his busy schedule to put it together as he would like to.
I can tell.
So first up, the DOS game. I don't have any instructions, so I'll just have to guess which one of these to try. How about Moon?
First of all,
why is it thanking me? I didn't do anything. Second of all, what is with this backhanded compliment? Can you imagine someone saying that to you in real life?
Was that good for you too? Oh, you were nearly very wonderful.
nearly very wonderful. I'm sorry, I'll try harder next time.
All right, let's try. God, that sounds awful. I mean, I guess it's not their fault that PC speakers suck dick, but damn, it's not even on key. You press a button and look at that smooth jump and the scroll up too. I see. Yes, I very much understand what just happened.
I'm just a paragon of understanding right now. I couldn't understand more if I fucking tried right now.
So the game starts and what the hell was that? I don't even know how you could accidentally make that happen. Anyway, so the game starts and immediately I'm put off by the fact that like a sixth of the screen is Michael enthusiastically pinching his own ass. It's an overhead view, but not a good one like say Zelda where it's an angle so you can see what things are. Here you get the very, very top view of everything and it requires a little more guesswork. What's this, a rotisserie chicken on wheels? Oh, it's one of these guys, right. Naturally, everything's out to kill you, and you may be baffled at this point to find that what the game calls the fire button is not a weapon, it's just a sprint that runs out in like 5 seconds. So you have nothing to defend yourself with other than getting the fuck out of Dodge. I guess Michael Jackson was a pacifist. You're supposed to get these 4 items here. The map in the corner is almost helpful. The enemies are yellow and the items are green. But oftentimes it leads you to a piece of clothing that doesn't seem to do anything. Then some pervy photo guy with Simpson skin comes after you and it's like, well damn, if you were hoping for a strip show, I guess you missed it. So I collect all the items and now what? There's a motorbike which doesn't do shit. And what in shit's name is this? Actually, you are supposed to collect these clothing items, but you have to do it from the bottom up. Start with the boots, well, not that boot, then that boot, Jesus Christ. Then pants, then the glove, then the jacket, no? Oh, well of course, there's another glove. How dare I think one glove would suffice? There's clearly a second hand in this picture where the glove would go. Oh wait, no, the opposite. Okay, so is this thing his head? Oh, that is not what I expected. This level is based on that shit-tacular Speed Demon segment. In the movie, Michael finds the costume in a studio wardrobe. Here, we're fucking picking up costume scraps from the ground. And don't even get me started on why these and where they come from. Now you can slowly roll away on the motorbike and move on to level 2. Instead, let's move on to the arcade version. Yeah, I ain't playing any more of that shit. This one is actually pretty damn cool. I mean, I don't know why Michael Jackson looks like Sigourney Weaver, but otherwise it's pretty action-packed. It's actually worth playing. You're just going around shooting guys and rescuing kids.
Nothing wrong with that.
If you grab bubbles, you turn into the robot and damn, it's satisfying. If you're into arcade beat-em-ups, I'd actually recommend it. Sure, it's only vaguely based on the movie now, but honestly, the less similar it is to the movie, the better.
And of course, you can dance.
Michael's dancing is so awesome, the enemies can't help but join in. And then die.
It blows them away, all the way to hell.
The Genesis version was also published by Sega and is closely related to the arcade. This game actually preceded any Sonic the Hedgehog game, which means this was one of Sega's first attempts at luring kids away from the NES. This is by far the most famous incarnation of this game. A side-scroller once again revolving around saving kids and beating up bad guys. It's just as masturbatory as the arcade game, what with the dancing, the moonwalking, and the crotch grabbing. But hey, if you idolize Michael Jackson, it'd be right up your alley.
Not that kind of alley.
Being a platformer, there's a lot of vertical space, and the kids are often hiding behind things like doors, bushes, or inside cars, so it's less action-oriented and more monotonous than the arcade version. For that reason, I think this version isn't quite as fun, but I do have a soft spot for it. It was a game I liked a lot as a kid, so it's nostalgic for me. And the Genesis-ized songs, even today, sound pretty dope.
Now, you might think that I'd be done there, right? That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Nope. Like so many other things, to cash in on his death, a new game was released called Michael Jackson The Experience. It's made by Triumph International, which is a underwear and lingerie manufacturer. Yes, and stay tuned for Prince The Experience, developed by Victoria's Secret. Now, I assume with a name like Michael Jackson The Experience, we're gonna feel exactly what it's like being Michael Jackson.
I guess today this game would be called Michael Jackson Simulator 2016.
Well, I wish. Instead, it's a dancing game, but not a good one like, I don't know, DDR. No, this one's a lot more like Connect Star Wars. You're shown weirdly fake-looking people dancing and you have to copy them. And being that the only input is the Wiimote attached to one hand, it works about as well as you'd expect. You are given instructions, but they're not always understandable and often don't seem to correspond with the actual moves being shown.
Ugh, no wonder Michael Jackson was so depressed.
No joke, I found just waving the Wiimote around usually got me an okay or occasionally a perfect. Then other times I felt I did do it perfectly, I just got a big try harder X. Plus it's hard to do some of these moves with a bulky phallic object in one hand. Maybe a newer system like the Kinect works better, but imagine having a Kinect unironically. There are also dancing lessons just in video form, but I guess knowing that packing a game full of FMVs is unfashionable, they made it so you have to unlock them with your elite dance moves. So you have to learn how to dance to learn how to dance.
I mean, there was effort that went into this game. It was also clearly a marketing gimmick.
It's the most Michael Jackson filleting of them all, and considering, well, that's saying something. It's not even really a game, it's just a mildly interactive dance instructional. Sega, like Michael Jackson, were on top of their game in the late 80s and early 90s, and both of their Moonwalker games are actually pretty decent. Probably not among the greatest games of all time, but they have their value, in a career jam-packed with valuable work. Rest in peace, sweet prince. No, not that prince. Yeah, that prince too.